Welcome back to Off the Rail. What a show we have got for you. Two legends, Hall of Famer Barry Hearn, future Hall of Famer.
Without doubt.
Karl Boyes, Jayson Shaw. Barry, first let's start with you. 1994, snooker players, free tickets. Alison Fisher, who's sat over there, she played it as well. Look at this, 2,500 lunatics in Las Vegas.
Well, the A-team sums it up. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? I just didn't know it was going to take 30 bloody years. If they told me on that day it's going to be 30 years before you have something like this, I'd have probably jacked it in after a couple, you know. But 15 years of giving away tickets, you know, listen, we're a sports company. We invest in sports that we're passionate about. So there's no praise on us for that. But what is important is that the fans are turning out now, the players are interacting with the fans, they're creating that magical thing called atmosphere. And without that, you know, sport doesn't exist. And it's the type of event where I think a lot of these people are going to go home and say, I really had a good time.
Yeah, I agree.
And I want to come again. And then the kids in the audience watching Jayson and the boys play saying, I want to do this when I'm grown up. And then you get momentum. It's taken us a long time. I'm sorry, probably most of it was my fault. If Emily Fraser had taken over earlier, you know, we might have hit this quicker, but you had to put up with me for a few years. But we've got someone much better now. The management's better, the whole structure is better. Great broadcasters, great sponsors around the world, and the talent is shining through. And when I see this man getting involved, I just love it, because to my mind, that's why he plays. You know, money's great, and you know, we can all earn a living doing something, but when you've got something you were born to do and you realise it, it just comes across so naturally.
Jayson, you love this, don't you? You don't want to play in a smoky pool room with 5 people watching. You want to be at centre court in this arena, don't you?
Yeah, you know, when I was younger, we grew up playing in teams, you know, like English 8-ball teams, and that was something that I used to love doing. And then the Mosconi Cup, I always seen it on TV, and I was like, man, that looks amazing, you know. Watching everybody get involved is what we need to do to bring it to life. But it's boring sitting in the chair and going back to your chair and sitting down and doing nothing. The crowd want to get involved, and like Barry said, young people sit in the crowd, they want to do it. They go away, they see us doing it, and they think, oh, maybe I'll go play pool, and that's what we need. More young players playing pool, and this is the best place to see it happen.
Barry, how good, you've arrived today, how good was it walking in and seeing how loud the Americans were? Because we're so used to seeing that in Europe, but it's like almost like they've learned how to cheer.
It's funny when you get a country like America, which you think is brash and energetic, and you know, and actually they're not. They're really, a lot of them are quite shy. They don't want to come out and be the centre of attraction. But once they try it, and we've had this in darts as well, by the way, once they try it and get used to it, they really quite enjoy letting their heart go on their sleeve, because it's that passion that creates great sporting moments. You know, it's not, today's world is not just about being the best. It's about being the most famous, and it's about being involved in conflict in a sporting arena that catches people's imagination, where they say, I'm going to turn on for that again tomorrow. And I think this Mosconi, the reaction I'm getting from around the world is, this is what people are saying. Oh, you know, people, not everyone knows Nineball pool. We're very close to it. You know, we love it. We're passionate about the game, but we're still educating people. We're educating broadcasters to try it. Yeah, why we're concentrated on Nineball pool? Because there's, 10 different disciplines of pool, and you confuse the international television market by that. So we're just going, Nineball is the historic game. This is where the money's going to be. The other games will carry on. But if we split our interest amongst all the disciplines, we'll never get the big prize. And the big prize is sell-out arenas, and that's what we're getting now.
Obviously, there's no one in the world who knows sport better than you. How big do
big
you
statement.
think Nineball?
Big statement.
I'll stick by that statement. Yeah. I'll take that one on the chin.
Okay. How big can Nineball
Maybe
be?
Eddie. No, that's a joke.
No. I think he's better.
Taught him well.
No, to be honest with you, there's so many people better than me. The only thing is, people are kinder to me because I'm getting old. They think he might be dead in a couple of years. We better be nice to him now. No. But the difference is, how big can Nineball be? It's a great question. Number one, you live on data. You live on facts, not fiction, not just emotion. So you look at Nineball pool and you say, it is a truly global game. On the American influence in the early days or whatever, on the historic, whether it's the colour of money, whether it's the hustler, it has a place in people's psyche as a pool. More people play Nineball in the world than any other cue sport, including snooker. Now, snooker's getting a big push in China, we know, and Chinese pool's doing really well in China as well.
Yep.
And that's another discipline, and Jayson will go over there and nick a load of money out of them, great, right, but he'll come back because his name is being made on the principal game. Doesn't stop you playing other games. When it's as big as that, then you start to ask yourself, why is it not as big as golf, which is the one I always use? And it's a question of perception. You know, if it has the perception of a sport is it's played in smoky halls with some very dubious characters in there, playing money matches, going corrupt, or you know, the history of pool is littered with things like that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We have to elevate the perception to a class, to a quality. And we're seeing that with the interaction with the players and the crowd and people understanding suddenly this is actually a very complicated game. For years, everyone has said in our circles of snooker players, oh, it's easy, that 9-ball pool. They don't know. When they come across, tactically, they are a fish out of water.
Yeah.
So it could be a golf scenario, providing we change the perception with sponsors and with television companies to say, just look at it, common sense, look at the numbers, look at the social media interaction, look at the crowds. Then they suddenly realise, wow. And of course, a smart TV company and a smart sponsors out there want to invest, they want to get in at the stage we're at now, because our history is made up of making things much more expensive as the game elevates itself. So we don't get much wrong. And the message to all these broadcasters, and they're buying into it, is better buy it now. This is going to give you value. As Rockefeller said, everybody has to end up with a bit of bread in their mouth. Matchroom have to make a profit because we create a sustainable business for the future. The players have to live their life and have to show the world this is good being a pool player. TV companies need ratings, sponsors need exposure. And if everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet, there is no limit to how big it could be. But in terms of money, the Matchroom rankings next year probably will have somewhere around 35 events in. So people like Jayson Shaw, if he's got the energy, will literally be a proper professional, because you'll be playing every week.
Yes.
It's your job. And he'll go home and he'll say, well, I only earned that there, but I got that there. And at the end of the year, it's worth my while. That ticks a box. What we're looking at really is, how big can it get? And all I'll say to you is, I think we're at the point where we were at darts 10 years ago. And I think the prize money in darts 10 years ago was somewhere around 2 or 3 million quid a year, which is probably what the pool circuit will be next year. Now darts will be on about 20 million now, 10 times. I think we can get to the 10 times in a quarter of the time or a half of the time it took us to go, because the world moves faster and companies are more receptive to change. So if we can get a pool circuit that's paying £10 million a year instead of 2, even more incentive for him to practice in the morning, for him to go to bed with a smile on his face, and for me to be happy that the investment that we've made over 30 years is paying dividends. Everybody is a winner in Bazza's world.
I love that. Jayson, you're still young enough. You're gonna get some more of this money. But listen, let's talk about the cup. It's 8-6. You played the last singles point. It was touch and go point. It was a massive point. You lost the doubles before it. How do you think the cup has been going so far? How is team morale in the practice room?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, from day one, I think both teams have put in good showing. Both teams have played hard. It's not been easy on both sides. We've lost some close matches. Some players have played great and lost some matches, and then obviously coming into today, the score was tied at 4-4. So, you've been there yourself. You're just looking to win the session, and that's what the boys did. We managed to win the session. So we just go back there, celebrate that we won the session, and then go away and have a look at the team sheet, and sit down and try and pick the best lineup for tomorrow. I know they're going to come hard, so we got to try and finish the job in hand, and I've got faith in the boys tomorrow to come out and give it everything and try and reclaim the cup again.
Right, we've got a little bit of breaking news. Jayson doesn't know nothing about this. Barry, Matchroom Pool, WPA, the WPA sanctioned events for years. Tell us about that. Tell YouTube, tell the pool fans what's going on.
Well, I mean, really, we've been in discussions with the WPA for 12, 15 months to try and get them to understand the importance of spreading the gospel of the game, and for us as a company to make the type of investment that we're prepared to, we need to have some skin in that game, and what we've asked them to do is to recognise our Nineball pool rankings as the official Nineball ranking system. Yep. There isn't another one, by the way, so we're not trying to steal anything that exists already. There is an overall pool ranking system for all the various disciplines of pool, which doesn't interfere with us. Regretfully, the WPA have decided they're not going to sanction as their official list our rankings, and they have every right to do that, and we have every right to say, see you later, which we are going to do. So the players won't be paying sanction fees, they won't be having any money deducted from their prize money, we won't be looking for the sanction from the WPA because it doesn't really mean that much to us. Especially, we will just go on and develop and invest in our own rankings. The World Championships is different, that's subject to a separate agreement, which we will honour, of course. But we're now sending out invitations to the World Championships based on the top 100 of our rankings, and there'll be 28 wildcards. But we are building the rankings to give the sport credibility that it deserves and to make it into what I would call a proper commercial sport. People have to understand every dollar you earn, every tournament you play in, and I think we're up to around 600 players are currently ranked in the world. By the end of next year, that will be into the 2,000 and 3,000 players. That's how you develop a sport, something that we know about, we've done it before. But I was disappointed with the WPA. I respect their decision-making process. It's fundamentally flawed because they're not commercial animals, and I am. So we'll see you later. But of course, my door is always open. The moment they realise they've made a dreadful mistake, I'm very happy to receive the phone call where they say, you're right, you can own the rankings and they will be the official rankings of Nineball pool, and then we'll get on fine. In the meantime, we'll just go and do our own thing because, as I said earlier, I'm too old to mess about. I've got a plan, we're going to carry it out. And if I don't do it, there isn't anyone else out there that's doing it currently, frankly. But next year is going to be a massive year in terms of more and more events, bigger prize money, including obviously the Mosconi, because this has now established itself. And it's time for the players to get something back for the talent they have and the effort they put in. But it's all part, you've got to understand, it's a bigger picture, how you take a sport, especially a niche sport, that hasn't really been commercialised. When you bring it into the 21st century and the world that we live in now, the digital world, the social media world, we all have to be together. We're not big enough to tear each other apart. We should be working as a team. But if someone doesn't want to be in our team, then we accept their decision and we move on.
Jayson, thoughts on that? WPA no longer with Matchroom Pool?
More tournaments, more money, sounds great.
You're paying into the WPA a lot, so what's your thoughts on what Barry's just done?
I'm quite surprised that that's happened. But as Barry said, you know, if they don't want to communicate and do things, which Barry has planned, then Barry's going to go his own way and try and support the players and give the players what they should be due. You know, we play this game day in, day out. Put a lot of time in away from our families, stuck in the practice room all day, and we're playing big events, and I think the more Matchroom can do for the players, then the players can live a better life. As Barry said, be happy at night time, go to bed with a smile on your face, and if they can create more events and have the Mosconi Cup getting bigger and bigger, then the players will follow what Matchroom are doing, and yeah, I think it's a good decision what you're doing. And I'm behind it all the way.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, we've been blessed to have the support of the players, frankly, and as you know, we don't really make many decisions, if any, without discussing it with certainly with the leading players. Whether you're talking about the break-off, whether you're talking about the balls, whether you're talking about the cloth, you know, we listen because it sounds big-headed to say we're experts at what we do. Commercially, we are. We've proven that over the years, and I find it amazing that a federation like that don't realise that. Look, they're so lucky. I mean, it sounds terrible to say they're lucky to have us, but there's sports out there begging for Matchroom to take them over and put that bit of stardust and put some investment in it. And these guys are like just trying to hold it all together. They're trying to wrap the sport amongst their blazers and charge everyone for their airfares. And the world doesn't work like that anymore. The talent speaks. The talent says, I've got a family, I've got a wife, I want more events, I want more prize money. I'm saying to the WPA, this is how you can do that, but you need to be with us. And you get the feeling they're not. They've got this little tiny goldfish bowl and they want to keep it like that. Well, I don't. I want a frigging ocean. I don't want a goldfish bowl. We haven't got enough time to mess about let's smash the world of sport up and show them how big this game really can be. And if we get it wrong, we'll go down with the ship, with all gun blazing, because it's the only way to live your life. You know, life is a game of pool, mate, you know? You're just going to, if those balls run for you, we're going to take advantage. And if something happens that doesn't happen, okay, we're big enough to say we give it our best shot and it didn't work out. But everyone should be together. And I know the players are with us because they're easy to work out. Give them a living, give them opportunity, change their lives. You've got the players already done. So everyone should be with us. The WPA is not. But they've made their decision. I think it's a decision when they sit down in the cold light of day, they realise it's a glaring error. But that's their decision, not mine. I don't have time. I've got things to do. I've got Emily Fraser driving me mad. She wants to do 40 events next year instead of 35. And then she's getting, and we've really got to do this with the prize money. And we've got to launch in Southeast Asia. And we need at least 15 tournaments in Southeast Asia next year. All right, come on, you know. I'm like running behind the truck. And, you know, it's like a cartoon. And you're trying to grab hold in there. And the truck's just going a little bit further from you. And Emily's on the truck saying, come on, you can make it, you can make it. Yeah, we can, and it's exciting to be involved in something, in a venture like this. It's exciting to break the rules. And I don't want any fuddy-duddy in a blazer saying no. I don't respect their opinion enough. So, reluctantly, we're not falling out with them, we're just not requesting their sanction. But we're dealing with the federations, we're giving them some wild cards for the World Championships. The top 100 get in off the rankings, the official rankings. The seeding for all the tournaments will be done on the rankings, because the rankings will end up being the most important thing in Nineball pool. It will get you into tournaments at certain stages, and it will give you advantages on Mosconi Cup selection, the World Cup of Pool selection, etc. And if it doesn't work, we will have given it our best shot without any negativity, because I hate negativity and barriers to entry, the two things that hold back sports, where people say, I'm happy to do it the same way as we've always done it. That doesn't work in today's world, and it's not going to work with us.
Well, I think we should end it there. What more can we say? Hall of Famer Barry Hearn, future Hall of Famer Jayson Shaw. Big news in the world of pool. Thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe the YouTube channel. Tomorrow is the final day of the Mosconi Cup. It's 8-6 to Europe. Fans' choice doubles first, then the singles. Who is going to win? Do not miss it. DAZN, 11 AM. Sky Sports, 7 PM. We shall see you there.